All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is fun talking to you guys on a Wednesday. Brandon will be joining me here in a little bit for our Week 7 NFL predictions. We cannot wait to bring them to you. I cannot believe I'm also saying that it is Week 7. We are almost halfway there. In a sense, I think next week is the halfway mark, and we have a lot. And there's going to be a lot of changes here in the next couple of weeks. Players, teams, trading, who's buying, who's going to be dealing. And speaking of Brandon, there he is, the man himself. Brandon, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing? Let me just put the volume up a little bit. There we go. Much better.
I'm doing good. Better than the damn Astros and Diamondbacks, but yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I know, man. These end of the usually I'm always excited for the championship series in baseball because they're sometimes more funner than the World Series itself. It has been a letdown, bro. It is a total letdown, bro. Like, damn, are you serious? Which means the World Series is still going to be terrible. I just know it. I just freaking know it, man.
I do not feel that way, especially if it's these two teams. I'm like, I see.
Yeah, if it's the Phillies and the Rangers, this is really we're about to see the best of both worlds when it comes to baseball, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great. But that's later. That's later. We do have a lot to cover, especially with everything going on, and then we have trade deadlines coming up soon. Some names popping up. By the way, I don't know if you heard, Julio Jones is back in the NFL. Did you hear? Did you see that? That was pretty intense.
That was such a weird.
Out of the blue, nowhere, like, oh, he still wants to. I didn't know he still wanted to play.
I don't know. I don't know why Philly, but hey, do you think, man? Do you think?
Yeah, whatever, man. Hey, it is what it is. I mean,
that must have been an AJ Brown thing. That had to be an AJ Brown last call thing.
It had to, right? It had to be. Like, I can't see anything else. I can't. But either way, it is Week 7. We are halfway there. It's going to be fun. But we are going to make our predictions today. Unless you're a fan of the Panthers, the Texans, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Titans, and the Bengals, go away. Go away. We'll see you next week, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. But everybody else, come on in. We got to get going. And speaking of the Texans, Brandon, you were there live on Sunday. Tell me, is CJ Stroud the truth? Is he the next thing?
He's the future, man.
He's that good? Is he legit?
He's the future. We got a pick. I was like, I told you last week.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little hurt about that. I'm actually a little pissed off at you guys because I knew it was gonna happen, and I'm like, of course it had to be the Saints to pick him off, man.
This is literally being a Saints fan. We got the pick. He starts running the ball and he fumbles the fucking ball in front of my face. I see him fumble the fucking football. I'm like, he fumbles the fucking ball. I did a bad behind me. And I yeah, we got a pick. And immediately, I was like, this motherfucker fumbled the ball.
This son of a gun.
Oh, I'm so mad. I was like, what the hell? And they were like, yep, fumble recovered by the Texans. I was like, you gotta be goddamn kidding me.
And then CJ Stroud never looked back, bro. CJ Stroud never looked back after that pick.
He went down the field, he scored a touchdown. I was like, that made sense.
Yeah, CJ Stroud never looked back, bro. Never looked back, dude. Never. But speaking of the Saints, you guys get to start it off tomorrow in a highly anticipated Thursday night football matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. Thursday night football, man. We thought the first year was like, you know what, it was just bad luck, man. Maybe next year it'll be better. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New Orleans Saints on Thursday night football. The Jaguars obviously 4-2. Beating the Indianapolis Colts to take a 1-game lead. The Saints now 3-3 when they started off 2-0, and now they have lost 3 out of their last 4. So that's not bueno. That's not bueno at all. But it seems like you guys were ready to turn on Carr, by the way. You guys were ready to turn on Carr after 6 games. And I dealt with that dude for 9 years, so I know your pain, bro. I know your pain. And let me guess, I don't have to go into the Saints fan pages or anything like that. But the Kardashians, are they defending them hardcore? They're defending them hardcore, right?
I haven't seen one person say Derek Carr is good.
Yeah. Don't worry. Oh no, they're out there. I'm pretty sure there's a couple Kardashians out there that will defend Derek Carr no matter what, bro. So hey, I dealt with that for 9 years. It's your turn, bro. It's your turn.
I saw a video yesterday, and a guy was like, "I had to deal with this shit for 9 years." I was like, "What?"
Juan?
He's like, "I had to deal with this shit for 9 years. I hope you guys get better at this shit." And I said, "Like,
Juan?
what the fuck is that?"
Juan has a burner? Juan has a burner account? Juan's got a... Ladies and gentlemen, Juan Rodriguez from Las Vegas, Nevada has a burner account. His name is Pablo Escobar. Juan? Log out real quick. Never heard from him again. Oh, man, I tell you. But no, it is Thursday Night Football. It looks like Trevor Lawrence is trending to miss, however, due to injury. So it is going to be the backups. And then obviously the Saints are full force. So, Brandon, lay it on me, man. Do the Jags take a 2-game lead or do the Saints bounce back?
I don't know about this game. I really don't freaking know. If Trevor Lawrence plays, I got the Jags. If he is not playing, I still got the fucking Jags. I don't trust the Saints. I don't trust the fucking Saints. I don't know why these sons of bitches can't get right, but they can't get right. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I do. I'm lying. I do know what it is. It's Pete Carmichael. I've been saying put his head on a stake for like 2 years, 3 years now. The dude needs to go. I just don't think he's the offense coordinator. Juan, how long have you known me? How long have we been saying this?
Oh, a long time. Very long time.
And now people are like, wow, Pete Carmichael really sucks. Really? You're just realizing this. He should have been going when Sean Payton left. As soon as Sean Payton said he's retired, hey, Pete, you had to fire you, man. Listen, it's not us, it's you.
I can't imagine having all that talent on offense and not being able to score 20-plus points every single game.
Watching that game and being that it was like 4 straight down the field throws. The Texans got to the point where like, let's just blitz Derek Carr. You didn't even try to switch it up. Like, you didn't try to do a screen or nothing. Like, what the? Alvin Kamara is literally having a block for Derek Carr. Why the fuck is he not running, trying to get a catch? What was that? Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, we lost this game. I can't believe we lost this game because our fucking offensive coordinator sucks. That shit was infuriating. And then on top of that, being in Houston, around the Texans fans, it was just shit. Yeah, I don't trust that. I don't trust his offense. I trust the defense. But that offense, man, with that offensive line now being questionable for most of that game tomorrow, Jamal Williams should be back. I don't know if he will play, but he should be back, which is a great.
I think that's the key. I think that's a key thing.
But yeah, I got the Jags. Even with Trevor Lawrence not playing, I don't trust his team. I don't trust his offense. I do not trust his offense, and until I see otherwise, they're more consistent. I don't have the Saints winning any of these games.
This was a really hard game to choose, man. I'm going to be honest with you. It was really hard because the Saints, you can't really trust them, like you said, offensively. Defensively, I can trust them 100%. The offense, man. Anyway, that offense, man, it's something. It is something. It's something to watch. And then with the Jaguars, you want to believe that they're good. But then you see who they beat, and you're like, okay.
Whoa, don't tell those Trevor Lawrence fans they haven't really beat no fucking body. Don't tell them that.
Like, I want to believe in them, but it's like, all right, come on, like, get something going, But I do believe, here's the thing. I think for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the problem is this. How ironic would it be if the backup quarterback for Jacksonville comes in and he outplays Trevor Lawrence his first game? And you know why I say that? And you know why you had that face? Because you know it could freaking happen. That's why. That's why. But no, I'm going to go with the Saints in this one. Look, on a short week, Jacksonville did everything they could, and they got a very impressive, and I wouldn't say impressive win against Indianapolis, but they did show that, hey, they can beat, they're going to win their division. Like that, that's enough. That's enough.
I still don't believe that, but okay.
Like, here's the thing. CJ Stroud is good. The rest of the team, the rest of the offense, they got to get it together, man.
I would say this. Being there Sunday and watching that game, they got something.
Look, I'll give them this much. They have a great tight end in Dalton Schultz that they need to resign immediately. Like, immediately. Like, they immediately. That is CJ Stroud's favorite fucking target. And with rightfully so. Tank Dell was out. Nico Collins is very limited at what he can do.
They're getting healthy in that offensive line. And I was like, because that was one thing I was like, Terrence Howard's playing? I was like, Howard's playing? I haven't seen him this whole fucking year. What the fuck did he come back?
It was nice to see. But
Devin Singleton was running his ass off in that game. I'm like, oh, wow. If he could get going too, they got something. And this division isn't as hard as people want to make it. Jacksonville is not running away with this division with flying freaking colors.
No, of course not.
So that's why I'm like, any team could win the AFC South. Don't get it twisted. I know people want to run it off. It's the Jags division to lose. I'm not sure of that because they got to play Houston and Houston still. And if they're even somewhat near each other,
that could be scary.
Texans are going to beat them.
But I'm going to go with the Saints over the Jacksonville Jaguars, only because of the fact it's a short week for Jacksonville. Not enough time for the backup quarterback to learn. Not enough time to kind of get the plays down. Doug Peterson's going to be very limited, especially banged up efficiently. Defensively, they're a little banged up as well. I think this, especially with the Saints being at home, they cannot come back on a short week and lose at home, because if they do, Dennis Allen's seat is about to get so freaking hot because you brought the staff in. You brought these players in.
I don't want to say he brought that staff in. Pete Carmichael was there for Sean Payton. He's been there for
He could have made the decision like, hey, you got to go.
He should make that decision because that is really what it is. Like, no, your defense isn't the problem. Your defense is good. You've had one game where you just shit the bed defensively, and that was the Tampa game. That was it.
But that's because your offense couldn't get anything going.
Outside of that game, you played pretty well. The defense is literally like in the top 10 of all of defense. The offense is literally at the bottom of the damn league. Like, that is not good. This is like completely the difference of Detroit last year. Detroit's offense was so great, but the defense sucked. This is literally the same thing. The defense is so great, but the offense sucks. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to go with the Saints over the Jaguars. I think they can handle the Jaguars on a short week, and if they can't, then honestly, that seat's about to get hot for Dennis Allen, and a lot of players are have to really start picking it up, because at the halfway point, you do not want to be on with a losing record at the halfway point.
And on top of that, you about to go into a stretch where you about to play teams that don't even have their quarterbacks. So you about to play one team that already have their quarterback, and you playing a coach next week that don't have a quarterback. And the Bears after that, but Justin Fields would dislocated something in his hand. You got to win these games. Like, there is no more, well, kind of, sort. No, you got to win. This is getting to the point where you got to win now.
Yeah, so so I got the Saints, so I think they can do it. Now, this next game, however, is going to be exciting, because we're talking about one of the very best, again, it's going up one of the very best in the AFC and the NFC. And I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions. This literally is going to be a great game. Baltimore got a huge win in London over the Tennessee Titans. Great win for them. In Detroit, here's the funny thing about Detroit. This is the funny thing about Detroit that people don't want to give them credit for. Are you ready for this? People are like, well, they beat Kansas City without, Travis Kelce, and they beat teams that have a record of 8-14. Okay, that's fine. You can say what you want. Or is it maybe, just maybe, the Detroit Lions are such a really good team that they're supposed to beat the teams that are shitty? Could that be it? Yeah, that would be my explanation. I mean, Detroit, looks like a good offensive team. They look like a good defensive team. They look like a special team. They have a great special teams unit. I don't know. Is it maybe possibly because you're so afraid of the unknown and changes that maybe you're just too afraid, ESPN and NFL Network, that the Detroit Lions could actually be pretty damn good.
If this was Dallas, they would be screaming their fucking heads off. This is the best team they ever seen.
Yeah.
They did that shit today. It was like, is Philly and Dallas on the same level? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? What? No.
Don't. I don't expect that. But again, who are we? We just do this shit for fun, right? We just do this shit for fun. Now, the Lions do have a tough task as they're going to go up against one of the better defenses in the NFL against the Baltimore Ravens. So, Brandon, in a very, I want to say a Super Bowl preview because I don't think it's there yet, but it could be. It could be. Who do you have right now? Do you have the Detroit Lions or do you have the Baltimore Ravens on this one?
Man. You know us. We are on the bandwagon a little bit early. We were like screaming Lions pride last year. So, we're screaming Lions pride last year. So, you know, it is what it is. But I got Baltimore. Because I feel like they have to win this game.
Yeah.
And they're at home. It feels like you have to win this game. Because Cincinnati's starting to turn it around. Cleveland is still there. You know, if Deshaun Watson decides to finally fucking play, they could really do some damage. And we still don't know what Pittsburgh really is at the end of the day. They could be really good offensively. They could be really fucking shitty offensively.
Yeah.
We do not know.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in a way tougher division where they have to win these types of games. Detroit has done a great job this year. Detroit is clearly going to win the NFC North. I said this earlier in the season when we was doing this. When we were doing the previews, I said Detroit will probably be the number one seed in the NFC. I said this.
It's not out of the realms of possibility, folks. It's really not. I mean, for the people that have been watching us and the people that have stuck with us, we have been talking about Detroit before Detroit was even a thing this year. And
I've been saying Detroit was going to be a number one seed since last fucking year. I'm like, Detroit's going to be a good team next year. I saw it, and now look at this. And plus, on top of that, you put them on the field against any team in the NFC outside of probably Philly, they can probably beat them.
And here's the thing. You said almost the exact same thing last week, and I know some 49er fans probably came on. And I'm thinking, there's no way that the Lions can compete with the 49ers. That's funny. Anyway, look, I love this game. This is and I wish I could see this. Unfortunately, the Raiders play at 10 in the morning too, so I'm going to have to be going back and forth and everything. So that sucks because we play in the morning too and they play in the morning too. God, this game is tough because I love both, man. I love what Baltimore is doing right now because I love what Zay Flowers is doing, and I love what Lamar and I love the running game of the Baltimore Ravens. That's really good. But the Lions, man, they just got this team that just it feels like, dude, it feels it's a good feel story, man.
I don't know who the fuck is running the ball for Detroit that game.
I know.
I have no idea.
If Jahmyr Gibbs comes back, maybe Detroit.
I go Detroit.
And I think that's the reason why I have to go Baltimore too, because you stole what I wanted to say. Only because of the fact of the running back injury time. Yeah. But would it shock me if Detroit does win this game? Hell no. Hell no. But the problem is they're on the road, no running game. We don't know who the running back is. We know we know the Ravens want to keep winning because after dropping the game against Pittsburgh, they know they cannot screw that up again. Cannot wait. And it's amazing that it's on the morning slot. So people have to count their blessings, man. And trust me, I'm going to be watching the Raider game, and I'm going to have my phone on the bottom going like, all right, let's see what's going on here, but no, I got Baltimore too, only because of the fact that here's the thing: the running game is working exceptionally well all around. For Detroit, David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs are a perfect 1-2 combo. Jameer, they got nothing to talk about. Now, on the next game, we have one of the most underrated defenses, not just in this season, but possibly in NFL history. I mean, 5 games the Browns have played, and they have only given up 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards. You know how hard that is to do in today's NFL? That's very hard to do. The Browns defense, ladies and gentlemen, the Browns defense, if they're on your waiver wire on fantasy, go pick them up now. That defense is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. That defense is no joke. I know they don't have the name like the 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles do. But let me tell you what they did as one man. The fact that Clowney looks like he's living up to his number one potential in this defense. The fact that the linebackers are flying off the ball. The fact that Denzel Ward finally showing out as the top corner from his draft class. Ladies and gentlemen, and God forbid Deshaun Watson finally gets over the Kawhi and Leonard disease to come back and play. He might come. I don't know what the Browns would be at that point. And then, unfortunately for Indianapolis, they did lose Anthony Richardson, who has been playing exceptionally well, which I did not give him credit for. And I am so sorry, sir. I did not know your game. All right. I did not know your game, but Brandon did, who had you at number 1 overall. I am so sorry, sir, that there are some things. Yes. Is there some things he has to work on? Absolutely. Absolutely. But for the little amount of film, what we saw, I can't wait to see when he comes back. But this game is going to be so hard. This game is going to be so hard. Brandon, who do you got? You got the Browns or the Colts? I got the Browns too, bro. And I'm not saying that it's hard to choose. It's just going to be hard for that Colts offense to move this week.
I picked the Browns last week, and you were like, "Oh, the 49ers." Yeah, the Browns are ready. I said that I didn't see Baltimore making the playoffs, but I saw the Browns making it in. We clearly missed with Pittsburgh. They completely are on a different fucking time limit than we are. But them.
We're in a different time zone apparently.
No, different planet. But Cleveland is a team I said will make the playoffs, and this is one of the reasons. That defense is ready. Like, I don't know how many people have not seen that type of defense. That defense is ready. They made Brock Purdy look like Brock fucking Purdy, like a 7 fucking rounder, the last pick of the draft.
And remember, this is with an offensive line unit of the 49ers, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey in the same lineup. And Brock Purdy looked like Mr. Irrelevant for the first time. And it's not because it was a fluke. If you do that again, the Browns will do the exact same thing at San Francisco, at Cleveland, in Arizona, in fucking Germany. It doesn't matter. The Browns defense is legit. And we've been saying that now for a few weeks. And people were like, I don't know. I can't buy into it. I hope you're buying into it. And now, if the season were to, and here's the crazy thing. The season were to end today, the Browns would be the 7th seed. Imagine going into the playoffs with that defense. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I would feel so bad for Kansas City. I would feel so bad for Kansas City.
Oh, my God. Kansas City would not make a fucking move. Kansas City would quit, like, in the middle of the game. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Yeah, but I got Cleveland. Gardner Minshew, listen, man, you're good to be a backup, but not a starter. And that is why you are a fucking backup. Cleveland's going to destroy this offensive line. Coach offensive line is not that good. You can hold up against the Jags. What the fuck do you think you're going to hold up against Myles Garrett?
And that's tough. I got the Browns too. It's just the fact that the Browns Here's the thing. You know me, man. I love trench play. I love defenses. It is so scary to watch the Browns defense these last 3 weeks. People are going to look back at the Baltimore game and go, see, they weren't that good. Listen, the Deshaun Watson thing was last minute. Threw everything off. These last 2 games, no question about it. No question about it. That defense is for real. No question about it. And it's scary to think that it's only halfway and that they can only get better. And that's the scariest of all, that they can get better. And kudos to the Browns, man. They did the right thing. Now, these next 2 games, we're just going to move on. Bills over Patriots. Who do you got?
Bills.
Okay, cool. And look, it's not like the Bills did anything impressive on Sunday Night Football. It's just the Patriots just I saw them live. They're bad. They're bad, dude. Like, here's the thing. Even when they were coming back and Patriot fans were starting to rile at me, I'm like, you guys know you're going to fuck this game up, right? Like, no, that's the Raiders' job. All right. Sack, safety. And I'm like, told you. And then they fucked the game up. The Patriots are just bad, bro. They're just bad. Buffalo did nothing to impress on Sunday Night Football, but I know they can handle New England.
I want people to understand something. Stephon Diggs no ask for a trade at some point. This man is like, we almost lost to the fucking Giants. There is no way in hell we should have lost to the goddamn Giants. Like, that game was too close at the end to be a game.
I will say this, though. I give props to the Giants defense for hanging tough in there, man. They hung tough, damn it.
That was embarrassing. I'm like, yo, what the? Are y'all gonna try? Like, Josh Allen, are you gonna try? Like, what is going on with this game?
Like, you know, and what did I say last week? Josh Allen had to play a game against this terrible Giants team to make me believe, okay, maybe the Bills are still the 3rd best team in the AFC. Nah, dog, I'm sorry. I know the Chargers just lost, but I'll still take the Chargers over here. It's the Chargers, homie.
I think the Raiders are a better team than the Bills. This is ridiculous.
And the Bills dominated the Raiders in week 2. It's bad. It's bad in Buffalo. And something's going on in Buffalo, and it's getting worse as the weeks go on.
I can see Stephon Diggs choking the living shit out of Josh Allen.
And no, Timo, he hasn't asked for a trade. But like Brandon said, eventually enough's enough, bro. Enough's enough, bro.
You shouldn't be scoring 14 points against the Giants. That is ridiculous. That is terrible.
I looked at my wife and I said, I'm surprised that these guys are not up by 10 by the end of the first. Like, what is going on, bro? So, and then the next game, Washington against the Giants. By the way, that was the first time the Giants actually lost in New York in 30 years. I'm just saying. Nah, trust me, Timo. What I saw in the Bills, not impressed, bro. But speaking, Timo, I'm glad you're here. We both have Washington over the Giants, right?
Oh my God. Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Well, I would say this. If Tyrod Taylor plays, they can probably get him. I would not lie. Tyrod Taylor actually fit that offense way fucking better than Daniel Jones. Let's be real. Tyrod Taylor made that offense actually look decent. Like, it made it look like, oh shit, wow, it's not bad. Like, it's actually, you can actually move the ball. Who knew?
Yeah, they were moving. That's great. But man, they couldn't find the end zone to save their lives, bro. They couldn't.
Oh my God.
Between their 1 yard line and then their opponent's 1 yard line, that end zone does not exist for the New York freaking Giants, man. But everything in between that, it's all theirs, bro. All theirs, man. They can have it. But yeah, I got the Washington Commanders too, bro. I really do, because here's the thing. The thing with Washington for me right now, I think the defensive line is healthy. It's looking more improved every week. Offensively, is there some things that have to be worked out? Of course. But I think Washington is just well enough and well balanced enough to beat a Giants team that hasn't scored a touchdown in 15 quarters, I believe. So, yeah. Yeah, so almost literally, if they do not score a touchdown in the first quarter this Sunday, they would literally go 4 full games without scoring a touchdown. That's like some high school terrible freshman shit right there. That's some terrible shit right there. But no, I got Washington over the Giants too. Next up, I know you love to talk about this, an NFC South matchup. It is the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Falcons look like they're back to reality now after starting off hot. Well, now they're back to reality. And the Buccaneers, well, same thing. They started off hot, and now they're back to reality too. It seems like everybody in the NFC South just went back. Well, the Panthers are staying in reality. Like, they just knew. They just knew they're going to stay right there. The other three, they're probably thinking, man, we should be way better than this. Nah, you thought, motherfuckers. Come back down. So somebody in this game is going to take over first place in the NFC South. So here we go, Brandon. You have the Atlanta Falcons, or do you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I got Tampa because they're at home, and Desmond Ritter sucks. That's me being nice to Desmond Ritter. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. I don't think Baker Mayfield is that guy either. But Tampa could at least get this game. I think that they should at least get this game. The NFC South sucks. Like, this is a bad division.
This is a bad division.
Tampa Bay's defense still sucks. Did you not see how Detroit made them look like idiots?
Detroit got them bad. Oh, they got them bad.
Beat the shit out of them. This game to me is literally just.
And that's the crazy thing too, Timo. You're right. The Panthers' offense has outscored the rest of the NFC South teams combined. The problem is, you can't freaking win.
I would not be surprised. The funniest thing about the Panthers is that they were so good defensively, and now their defense suck.
Like, what? Like, the coaching staff has to be pissed because it's like, dude, we went in all in for a quarterback because we thought you guys were going to come back and come together. And now we're talking about trading Jeremy Chin, Derek Brown's in the trading. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Brian Burns, who was already a trading block last year, might be back on the trading block this fucking year. It's ridiculous. I don't think Atlanta literally is a one-dimension team. They can run the ball. If you stop the run, you probably beat Atlanta. That's pretty much what we've always known. I've been saying Atlanta was going to beat this team for the entire fucking regular, since the off season. You drafted Bijan Robinson. Congratulations. Kyle Pitts still sucked. Drake London still sucks. What the fuck did you do? You didn't change anything. You went out, got all the same defensive coordinators, and brought them to Atlanta. And then Atlanta Falcons defense still can't do anything. What happened? Tampa could at least win this game because at least Tampa has some players. They got something.
Yeah.
When Tampa starts to play those top-tier teams like Detroit, like Philly, they got destroyed. Is that a coincidence? Fuck no. That's what Tampa's supposed to be. But so is the whole entire NFC South. It's not that shocking that this team, all of these teams are kind of trash right now. It's not that shocking.
Yeah.
They're do better, but they suck too. So
for me, I'm going to take Tampa Bay. As long as they don't wear those orange popsicle uniforms ever again, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be okay. Like,
I think they'll trash them sons of bitches because they ain't won their own like in years.
Like, here's the thing. There's some things that teams should not do. For Detroit, for example, do not have a statue ceremony of an NFL legend, a Detroit legend before the game because you are destined to lose. Tampa Bay, do not wear those orange popsicle uniforms because you are destined to lose. You know, there's just some things that teams should not do, you know, for anything. You know, just a lot of things. Buffalo, do not, you know, say, oh, snow in Buffalo, we got this, because we've seen before, you get dominated in the snow. Do not hope for snow day because you get killed in the snow. See, there's just some things that every team, it's like, if something happens to this team, they are destined to lose. When I heard Tampa Bay was going to wear those popsicle uniforms, I'm like, yeah, Detroit by 50. Straight up. Detroit by 50, straight up, bro. With the winking pirate. Like, come on, man. Like that. What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? I got Tampa Bay this week as long as they don't wear those uniforms. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we have it's a very weird, confusing game because we don't know how to feel about this, or at least I don't know how to feel about this. It's the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Now, sucks because I want to see Justin Fields play. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and that's the crappy part. So there's a possibility that we could see a matchup between Nathan Peterman taking on Aiden O'Connell. That is a real NFL match. Aiden O'Connell versus Nathan Peterman. You can't get more NFL than this, bro. Like, this is NFL at its finest, man. This is like top shelf. This is like top shelf at the most expensive whiskey bar, bro. Like, top shelf. Now,
week 7 going down. Nate Peterman, the rookie, O'Connell.
Oh yeah, we're highlighting this shit right here. But here's the crazy thing: if you take away the quarterbacks and you really look at these teams, obviously both of these offenses, they okay. Nothing great, but they okay. However, you look at the Bears defense; they're playing relatively well. And the Raiders defense, back-to-back weeks now, have closed out games to win the game. This game is going to get intense. This game is going to get crazy because I don't know what to expect. So, Brandon, I ask you, who do you got? Do you have the Bears or do you got the Raiders in this one?
I know what to expect. I expect the Raiders by 20. I expect the Raiders by 20. I got the Raiders. Are you kidding me? This should be allowed for the Raiders. Yes, if this was Justin Fields, I'd probably pick the Bears. I would probably pick the Bears. But since he's not playing, and Nate Peterman, last time I checked, couldn't fucking quarterback if you gave him every dollar in your banking account. He can't fucking find the fucking wide receiver if you paid him literally two. He is literally paid to throw the ball to the right team. And he cannot fucking do it. So, as long as I'm concerned, and I've seen O'Connell, he's a better quarterback already than Nathan Peterman. Yeah, give me the Raiders. And plus, on top of that, Max Crosby should damn sure be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. I know, he's not on a winning team. I don't give a shit. You see Max Crosby right now?
Yes, I do. I have seen him the last 2 weeks. Wrecking
games. Like, this is ridiculous. If the Raiders were on a winning streak and they were winning, this man would be in a conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, maybe even MVP. Like, he is destroying.
As a Raider fan, I am very happy that we have Max Crosby because if we did not have him, we would have nothing else on that team. We would have nothing else.
Man, that dude is different. He's different. Like, y'all better pay attention to him. He's different.
Yeah, no, he's a different guy, and I'm very happy that we have him on our team. I think for me, what it really comes down to, what it's really going to come down to is the running game. And in this case, I think our running game, I know Chicago stats-wise has the better rushing attack. I just think that, well, we're not the Minnesota Vikings defense. I'll give you that. So I have a little confidence in my defense to stop Chicago's run. And if there was a week for the Raiders running game to get going, it's this week. And I think that's going to be key here. Like I talked about in my show yesterday, I think that has to be the key for the Raiders. If they could establish the run game against this team and not have to put the pressure on throwing the football, and the defense keeps playing what they're doing, I don't know how high the Raiders can go at this point. So I'm going to go with the Raiders this week. Plus, you cannot squander away 2 weeks because if you squander – here's the problem with a lot of these Raider fans right now, because if they lose some of these winning games, like winnable games, what happens then is you get the attitude of you won these meaningless games and you took yourself out of the Drake May and the Caleb Williams conversation. Me personally, I'm okay sitting at 14 right now, and Michael Penix Jr. is still on the fucking board at that point. So kudos to me, I guess, but whatever.
I will also say this. Something that people are not really talking about is the Raiders' offensive line is actually healthy. So that's something that I said earlier in the year that their offensive line is healthy. I thought the Raiders could really make a run. holy shit, look at that. The Raiders might make a run.
And I get it. It's against teams that are we're supposed to beat these guys, but that's the NFL. You're supposed to beat teams that obviously, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. But I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one. I don't see them, like plus 20, like a lot of people like to joke and anything. But I think if they win comfortable enough, then I think it's like, okay, cool, we're good. We're in a good spot.
I do. Y'all can confuse Nathan Peterman. That's easy money. You can confuse his ass. That's simple.
That's going to be so tough.
Just throws it to the wrong team.
That's going to be something to watch. Next up, we have the Steelers going to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams coming away with the big one against Arizona, which they needed. Here's the issue. Now they get a team that is rested, leading the AFC North, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So defense is rested. The offensive line is rested. They have a week to rest, and the Rams just beat an Arizona team that's just really not good. They're really not that good. But here we go. Brandon, who do you got? Do you have the Steelers or do you have the Los Angeles Rams winning this one?
Oh, God. The Rams don't have the running back. The Steelers is the Steelers. Okay, I go with the Rams. I'm gonna keep the Rams. I know it shouldn't go this way, but until I see Matt Canada actually fired, it's just like
we do shows of coaches that should get fired, and we never include coordinators. He has to be on top of that list. I'm assuming.
It's like until I see Matt Canada get fired, I don't trust Pittsburgh. Like, I'm sorry.
Do you know how much respect and leeway you must have as a kicker to when after you win a game and they're celebrating and they're like, "Yeah, we won," and the kicker looks directly in your face and goes, "Yeah, no thanks to you." A kicker said that to you. You know how badass of a kicker, you know how badass of a dude that has to be to take shit like that from a kicker?
Chris Boswell don't want to deal with that shit. He don't want to win all these games by himself.
It's me and the defense. Chris Boswell's like, me and the defense are going out there. What are you doing?
You need to the 50. I get it.
I'm like, I bet you Mike Tomlin's like, you know what, man? I might take your word up on that. I might have to take up on your word. Shoot it.
It's ridiculous. I got the Rams. I just think they got a better offense than the Steelers. I know they just got no running back now. Williams out for a good bit, but I still feel like the Rams will figure it out better than Pittsburgh can. Pittsburgh defense is great, but Aaron Donald can do something. And that offensive line of Pittsburgh still isn't good. Neither is the Rams, but I trust Matthew Stafford over Kenny Pickett. And that's just how I look.
Here's the thing. Quarterback-wise, I do trust Matthew Stafford, and I respect Matthew Stafford's game. Here's the issue, though. I understand that Matthew Stafford also has a history of playing defenses like the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he gets happy feet after he feels a little bit of pressure. And guess what happens after that? Matthew Stafford goes back to being Matthew Stafford, and this defense is really good at – Brandon, what's this defense really good at doing? Like, what have they done exceptionally well this season defensively?
I'm just assuming takeaways because that's not what they're really good at.
Exactly. So Matthew Stafford is going to play this Pittsburgh Steelers defense who is rushing really well with all their linebackers, all their defensive ends. Hell, they even throw a couple corner blitzes here and there. And here's the thing. I think Joey Porter Jr. has finally arrived. I think Joey Porter Jr. is showing why he should have been a first-round cornerback. But no. Who are we? We just see film like everybody else. And everybody could have told you in any other draft, Joey Porter Jr. would have been a first-round cornerback. But for whatever reason, people want to go with – sometimes there's just some teams that draft, for whatever reason, Buffalo, for a freaking tight end, when you could have had Joey Porter Jr. and keep increasing your secondary, which, by the way, now your secondary is really in shambles. But, hey, who am I? Who am I to say anything, right? Because we even tried to trade up to Pittsburgh for that first-round pick. And I know we were going to take Joey Porter Jr. The second Joey Porter Jr. fell down to the second round, the Pittsburgh Steelers said, nah, he's ours. And he's coming into his own. Secondly, It's Matthew Stafford, and the problem is I've seen him enough times to when he plays a defense like this, he's just going to get happy feet. He's going to make bad decisions, and Mika Fitzpatrick is still out there. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Steelers defense over the Rams offense. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Like I trust the Steelers defense more. Give me the Steelers defense over the Rams offense. Okay, look, we're just gonna go over this one. Cardinals, Seahawks, Brandon. Buda Baker's back, Kyler Murray's back. Does that matter? No. Okay, we both have the Seahawks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. We don't have to go over this. Great. Next game. Now this game. I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. The Packers are hurt, and the Broncos are doing everything they can to fire sell everything because Garrett Bowles is tired. A lot of teams are being put up for auction. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson hate each other. Okay, well, let's put it like this. Sean Payton hates Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson thinks Sean Payton's a big meanie. Okay, let's put it like that. He's such a bully. And here's the thing. Russell Wilson is playing extremely well.
He's fucking good. Except Thursday, he was just fucking awful.
You take away Thursday. He's playing exceptionally well. But Sean Payton has no desire to coach him after the 2025 season. And the Broncos are going to have to bite the bullet. Just bite the bullet and get it over with. And then you go to the Packers. Injuries are starting to come up for the Packers. Jordan Love is hitting a trend where at one point he was like this, and now he's going like this. Now we need him to come back here. Oh, my God, this game is going to be so tough to call. Brandon, who do you got? Do you have the Denver Broncos or do you have the Green Bay Packers? Mind you, if Denver loses this, they're still in the hunt for Caleb Williams and Drake May.
I got Green Bay.
Okay, thank God.
I got Green Bay. Yeah, John Love is completing took a dip, like a massive dip.
Oh, it's bad.
But a bye week, so it gives him enough time to get back to rhythm with his receivers. And you're playing against probably the worst fucking defense in the NFL.
I don't think it's bad. I think everybody mentally
not good.
Everybody mentally in Denver has checked out. They checked out after week 4 when they lost to Washington. That's when they checked out.
I actually say when they lost to the Jets. I mean, it was just like
last week. That was a mental like we're done.
They were like when they couldn't beat the Jets, Zach Wilson. You couldn't beat Zach Wilson. They were like, "Yep, this season is done. We can't beat them." Yeah, but I think Green Bay. I don't know if Aaron Jones is going to play. I don't know, but I do know this: Green Bay's offensive line is a little bit better than Denver's, and that defense is better than Denver's. I think Rashad Gary, who they picked,
it's
on a pitch count. He's going to play this game. He's going to play a lot this game because.
And that's a big bolster to the defense which they needed because Quay Walker is dealing with his own injuries too.
And then you got Jameer Alexander that should be back too. So it's a lot of things about Green Bay that they're getting help. So maybe they are going to get back to what they are. I don't know, but I got Green Bay. I think they're just a better team right now than the Denver Broncos. Denver, I don't think going to have that same game they had against Kansas City because that was just god awful. But I don't think they're better than Green Bay right now, and that's the thing. Like, John Love coming off of a bye, probably got back in the rhythm with his receivers. I got Green Bay.
I know Panthers own the number 1 pick, even though it's going to go to Chicago. Right now, if you were to put the Panthers and Denver play right now, I bet you America would take Carolina right now because of just how bad everything is in Denver right now. It's just bad, bro. Like, it's to the point where it's almost like I feel sorry for them. Like as a Raider fan, I feel sorry for them. Like, dude, this is bad. I thought my team had issues, but this is internally. This is like internally bad. Like,
I'm starting to think if you're the owner of the Denver Broncos, you bought this team last year, and now you're thinking in your head like, I bought this team, and this team has not done shit since I bought this team. This was a terrible investment.
I mean, it's only 2 years. It's only been 2 years.
It's 2 years, but it's still like, God.
No, here's the thing. I mean, it's 2 years because of the fact that you traded away your first rounder to Seattle for Russell Wilson, and he hasn't panned out. You traded your second rounder away to the Saints and everything else, or you traded away your first and your what was it, second this year. I mean, the consolation at the end could be if Carolina wins a couple games and Denver keeps losing. Denver could end up with Caleb Williams or Drake May, and that's fine. But the problem is Sean Payton gonna? I don't think Sean Payton came to a Denver team to coach a rookie quarterback. He loves his veterans. So it's just very hard for me to believe that this internally. I think something's wrong with the Denver Broncos. 100%, 100%. I think something's wrong with the Denver Broncos, and I think it doesn't start with ownership, because usually I would say it goes with ownership, but at least ownership is trying. They're trying to make moves. This is coming from player, staff, like something internally in that locker room. There's something going on that obviously we can't see because we're not in that locker room. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix Denver. Maybe it is time to really just be like, you know what, guys? We had this incredible defense for years. It didn't work out. Maybe it's just time to just rebuild. You have no choice.
Yeah, I think the problem with Sean Payton's situation with Denver is that he's trying to make them like the Saints, and they're not the Saints.
No, because they don't have a Marcus Colston. They don't have that. They don't have a Reggie Bush. They don't have
any of that. And I think he's trying to make them like the Saints. Russell Wilson is not Drew Brees. No matter what.
They don't have a Evans to play guard. They don't have an Armstead to play left tackle. They don't have a who was the center's name that you guys traded to Seattle? You know, Mac. And here's the thing: Max Unger was a really great center for all those years. Really great center. You don't have a right guard like a Kari Evans. You don't have a left tackle like a Teron Armstead. You don't have any of that. You don't have a Marcus Colston. You don't have a Reggie Bush. You don't have any of that. You don't have a Jimmy Graham. It's not easy. It's not good, guys. Like, it's not good.
You don't have a Drew Brees. You don't have somebody that can ride the ship. You don't have any of that. And the fact of the matter is, Russell Wilson is not fucking Drew Brees. We keep acting like Russell's going to transform into Drew. He's not Drew Brees.
He's not Drew.
He doesn't have the same makeup. He doesn't do the same shit. He's never been that guy. So stop trying to make him Drew Brees. Because the plays you keep calling is for Drew Brees, not for Russell Wilson. That is not a play that you can. He is not that guy. Like, Drew Brees tippy-toed, like, over the line to see what was going on. Russell Wilson is a runner. Get his ass out the pocket. That's one problem right there you already have, and you can't get out of it.
It's sad. It really is sad, but I had the Packers too. And like you said, they're getting healthy on defense, which I think should alleviate some of the pressure off the offense for Green Bay, a very young Green Bay offense. So I think it'll get going. And then, obviously, we know this much. David Bakhtiari, his time in Green Bay is over, right? Another season-ending injury, it's over, right? Like, I can't see how he can come back. Like, I think it's just done. Next up, we have the Chiefs taking on the Chargers. The Chargers losing a tough one on Monday Night Football. By the way, Justin Herbert, I blame that one on Justin Herbert because I praised for him so much, and he missed Keenan Allen 3 separate occasions where he could have taken it to the house, by the way. The Chiefs, look, man, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. As long as Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Taylor Swift's boyfriend is on the field at the same time, the Chiefs are going to keep winning these type of games. So, Brandon, who do you got? Do you have the Chargers or do you have the Chiefs in this one?
That was good. I didn't see that one coming. I got the Chargers. Despite the Chargers completely demolishing themselves on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, I think, Justin Herbert, if it is true that he has a broken finger somewhere on his hand, This is not throwing hands, so it's not like it's a, but I don't think he's going to miss Keenan Allen like that in those many games. Quentin Johnston, I literally said this last night, and I'll say it again. If you put Jordan Addison with the Chargers and Quentin Johnston with the Vikings, it would make total fucking sense. These two receivers don't make sense for their teams right now. Jordan Addison cannot be that guy. Quentin Johnston, you're trying to force him to be like Mike Williams. He's not Mike Williams. He's not. If he was in Minnesota...
And here's the funny thing. It's like, well, they have the same build, so they must mean they have the same skill set. No. Here's the thing. Quentin Johnston was made to be, if anything, you want to compare it to anybody, he was made to be like another Keenan Allen. Possession receiver. You put him in Minnesota, like you said, him and Justin Jefferson would work. You put Jordan Addison in the slot when Mike Williams is healthy in the Chargers, guess what? It'll work. But they went backwards. And I don't know if it's the fact that maybe they're trying to tell Keenan, hey, maybe this is kind of the last hurrah for us. Because usually here, what I always say, whenever you draft somebody at a certain position, you're telling the older guy, hey, we're looking towards the future now. And I'm sure Keenan knows that. I'm sure he has to know that. But the fact that they're trying to make him into a Mike Williams, no, that's not his role. If you let Quentin Johnston just be Quentin Johnston, I'm pretty sure the Chargers can figure something out.
Yeah, because like the throw he made, like the throw Justin Herbert made that got picked up at the end of the game, you can tell they were trying to force him to kind of bump Stephon Gilmore to come back to the ball. It's like, that ain't who the fuck he is, man. That's not what he does. It's not what he does. Like, so that was a stupid play. I don't know why they called that. But I got the Chargers. I think it's just Kansas City. How much luck do you have? That's literally what it is. It's like, when is this luck going to run the fuck out? Because that offense is terrible. I don't care that they got Patrick fucking Mahomes. I don't care if they got Taylor Swift's boyfriend. I don't give a shit if Andy Reid is calling plays. That team is just not good. Like, you can look at the offense. The only bright spot on that offense, and I can't even say it's Patrick Mahomes. I can't even say it's Travis Kelce. The bright spot on that offense is Isaiah Pacheco. That's it. That's the only.
And poor Isaiah, man, he's trying everything. Isaiah Pacheco is trying everything to get this offense going. And he must be looking at his receivers going, guys, I'm running the rock. I'm catching for you out of the backfield to get the freaking defense space open. And not one of you motherfuckers can get open.
Yo, Kansas City's offense is looking like Georgia's offense. Like, you look at Georgia football, that is literally their fucking offense. Throw the ball to the tight end, run the ball. That's it. That's all you have in Kansas City. These receivers cannot create separation. I don't give a shit that you got Miko Hardman back today. What the hell is he going to do? He ain't done shit the whole time you drafted him. Now you want to trade and get him back? Don't make no sense.
That is just the craziest trade I've seen. Like, you let him walk in free agency and then you traded him. Like, you think the Jets were just probably thinking, okay.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, man, eventually it's going to run out. I don't think the Chargers are great. I don't think that defense is awesome. But I'm watching the Chargers, man. That defensive line is finally healthy. They get into the quarterback. They made Dak Prescott pay Monday night. They made his ass pay.
Not as much as Micah Parsons made Justin Herbert pay on the last sack. Did you see that last sack by Micah Parsons?
He hit his ass on the
It was like watching the crash dummy test. Just.
I was like, help, please, help. What is going on? Like, help. He probably threw the ball. Stephon Gilmore, so he had to take another hit like that. He's like, fuck this.
Yo, I mean, no, go watch that. He hit, like, and here's the thing, like, they had no sacks. The Chargers offensive line was actually doing their job the whole game. And then on the last drive, you just see Micah Parsons just like.
And I heard today, like, I was watching yesterday, Kyle Herbert was like, if you watch the game, that was pressuring Justin Herbert all night. I'm like, did they touch him until the last drive? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I saw Dallas and I saw the Chargers. The Chargers moving the ball. It wasn't like they couldn't move. It was just, but they couldn't score. That's the only thing.
No, here's the thing with the Chargers Here's the thing with the Chargers Monday. They would put themselves in a position where they would get a nice gain, but then they would do a stupid penalty right after. It's like,
like the Chargers to me. Sound like Brandon Staley's Chargers to me.
It's just, yeah, no. Here's the thing.
For me, I got the Chargers. I think the Chargers are.
God, this is such a hard game. This really is harder. It should not be hard, but it really is that hard of a game to choose because what do? Yes, is L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie, are they a good cornerback tandem? Sure. Yeah, they're good. Chris Jones is still Chris Jones. I can admit that. Sure. I don't know about the rest of the defense, but sure, I can admit that. But it's just, and I know what you're trying to say. Like, when is their luck gonna run out, right? Like, when is their luck gonna run out? When, God, it's just, I don't think it's this week though. I'm still gonna go with Kansas City. And I agree with you. Is the Chargers line healthy? 100%. 100%. It's just, I just don't trust Brandon Staley to win these type of games. I don't trust Brandon Staley to win these type of games. Here's the thing. I believe in the Charger players. I believe in Justin Herbert. I believe in Rashawn Slater. I believe in Austin Eckler. I believe in Keenan Allen. I believe in Khalil Mack. I believe in Joey Bosa. I believe in Derwin James. I believe in Asante Samuel. I believe in those guys. I just don't trust Brandon Staley, bro. Like, that's it. I don't trust the man there. Like, I just don't trust him. I just named you a bunch of great players on that Chargers team, and it's like, but man, Brandon Staley, man. Like, you know, if they had a Kyle Shanahan, if they had a Matt LaFleur, if they had a Dan Campbell, this team would be great. I don't know. It's Brandon Staley, bro. That's all I gotta say. It's bad. It's bad. All right. So that's the last of the afternoon games. I got the Chiefs over the Chargers. And then we head to Sunday Night Football. Possibly one of the most anticipated Sunday Night Football matchups because we're looking at both teams. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to take on the Miami Dolphins. They're both 5-1. Lost very bad. The Dolphins lost in a divisional game, and the Eagles they got caught. They got caught on a just a weird way against the Jets. And some people are already calling this the Super Bowl preview. The Miami Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, which I can understand why. A lot of things would have to happen, but I can see why. So, Brandon, in the most anticipated Sunday Night Football matchup in a very, very long time, do you have the Miami Dolphins or do you have the Philadelphia Eagles?
How can I say this? Miami's offense is probably the quickest offense, the fastest offense I've ever seen. It's like 3 flashes on a fucking football field. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? I think Miami's offense is incredible. I think they have an amazing wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, who should probably be in a conversation for MVP. He probably should be.
If he gets to 2,000 yards, I don't know how you could not say MVP at this point. Like,
I mean, as soon as he gets the ball in his space, it's just like over and done with. Might as well just go ahead and put it in the box. With that being said, they still don't have no offensive line.
Yeah.
They still have a very shaky fucking defense. With that being said, I think this game is going to be a reminder that Philly is just on a different goddamn level than Miami is. Which means I got Philly beating their ass by like 20. I do not see this game.
Oof, that's too much for me.
I don't see this game being close. I think playing in the cold on top of it, this is the first time Miami's going to physically be in like winter weather with that offense. I don't know how Tua's going to react if Jalen Carter, if he plays, gets to him. I don't know what happens when this type of defense gets to Tua. We don't know what happens.
You think
Tua's been pretty much protected. He didn't really have to do a lot. not that type of game. This is going to be a way different animal for Tua and the Miami Dolphins offense. And this might be the first time you're going to see them without their rookie running back actually struggle offensively. Like, that is going to be a game. I don't trust Raheem Mostert in a game like this. I think Philly is going to run the ball like crazy on Miami. I don't see Miami defense really stopping Philly when DeAndre Swift gets that ball in his hand and goes. Outside of, they don't really have a cornerback that I'm like scared of. And one thing that everybody are not saying, Philly lost last week. The way they lost last week, I bet money they ain't losing like that ever again. And that is why I feel like, and on top of that, Jalen Hurts wants to prove to everybody, Nick Saban, you screwed up. You put Tua in front of me and made me transfer? Yeah, so you better get all of this. I see Philly dominating the Miami Dolphins. I mean, dominating. I do not see the game being close. I think Philly beats them by at least 20, and that's being nice.
You think Jalen Carter's going to look at Tua and say, "Remember me"? Like, you know, it's, you know, I think
Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis going to be like, which one? Who first? Me or you? Me or you?
because I know. Here's the thing with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. I know they hate Alabama with the passion. I know they do. And when they were freshmen, you know, they lost to Tua. So I know they want something back. I know they want something back in return because they could have walked away with three national championships.
And the Kobe Dean, and Nolan Smith.
A lot of those guys. A lot of people don't realize, like, the Georgia defense, you know, the Georgia Bulldogs could have been a dynasty for a little while. They could have been a dynasty. But, you know, Tua made the last great throw. And here's my thing. Here, I think this is the crazy thing about it. I'm very excited for this game. I really am. Because this is going to test, what do we really know? Are the Eagles really that good like we keep saying? Can they beat a team? Because if they beat this team, then the Eagles can just beat anybody, right? Because, well, let's be real. I mean, if they beat them, then if they beat the Dolphins, then they can beat the Chiefs.
My thing with the Dolphins, and I think people that the Dolphins are a very good offensive team. They're one of the best offensive teams. But you make them actually have to play a game where that offense doesn't really get up to that speed level, like Buffalo. If you can actually, if Philly got the players that can do it. If Darius Slayton is also playing in this game, which I think he probably will. If they have,
Darius Slayton ain't missing this game, bro. He ain't missing this.
If they're healthy, I don't think Miami has enough. Tyreek Hill can get covered by Darius Slayton. I don't think Darius Slayton is great at it, but he can stop Tyreek Hill at least in this game. I think that this game is going to be. I don't see Miami winning this game, and I don't even think it's going to be competitive. Like, I think it's going to be a ass whooping.
And I think this is where I have to agree with you. I do have the Eagles in this one too, because I just think the Eagles defense is never going to allow to let that happen what they happened on Sunday. They're never going to allow that again. That's not the way they want to go down. They were building towards something. And I truly believe it. And I mean it when I say this. You know, the Eagles just look like when they were beating the Jets, I was thinking to myself, yeah, that's what they were supposed to look like. You know, they were beating them and they were handling them pretty good. And, you know, along the way, something just fell off and it is what it is. And, you know, it could have been the Lane Johnson injury, sure. And, you know, never tell me, I never want to hear people again why a right tackle is so important. Well, there you go. You know, is a right tackle worth a top 10 pick? Yeah, there you go. Darnell Wright and Lane Johnson. Yeah. By the way, did you see Darnell Wright just pulverize the guy on Sunday against the Vikings? And that's why you draft right tackles in the top 10. You know, but, you know, I'm crazy because I would waste a top 10 pick on a great right tackle than an above average tight end. But whatever. I'm not a general manager. Whatever, man. Anyway, I got to go with the Eagles on this one.
Y'all let it go, man.
I'm never going to let it go. Never let it go, bro. Never let it go. All right? That's never going to happen. I could have fixed Atlanta. I could fix Atlanta. But no, I don't have the credentials to be an NFL general manager because I have a tank top. But yet, Pat McAfee has a fucking show. Anyway, look, I got the Eagles on this one too, only because of the fact that the defense is healthy. The defense is going to play right. And it's at Philly. And they're pissed. Philly fans are pissed that they lost on Sunday. So you know who they're going to take it out on? The Dolphins. They're going to take it out on the Dolphins. They're going to take it on the Dolphins, bro. It's going to be a long day for Miami. Give me the Eagles on this one. And lastly, Monday Night Football to wrap up the week. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of, news swirling around. Is Kirk Cousins going to waive his no-trade clause? Some say yes. Some say no. Some don't have no idea. Some are saying, is this the last we've seen Justin Jefferson play in a Minnesota Vikings uniform? Some say yes. Some say no. One thing I do know, the Vikings defense finally showed up, and that's the only time we're probably going to see them because I do not see them matching up with the 49ers defense this week because guess what? They're pissed. I don't know about their fans, but I know the 49ers defense is pissed. The 49ers defense is pissed. Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to look like he made a bad mistake with that offensive game plan. He's going to want revenge, and it's a good week to do it against the Minnesota Vikings. So I got the 49ers. Brandon, please tell me you got the 49ers too.
I got the 49ers, but I don't think it's going to be like the Eagles-Miami game. I think this game is going to be very close.
That would be a tragedy.
I think it'll be close. Trent Williams being a little banged up. Debo being banged up. Christian being a little banged up. You're asking Brock Purdy pretty much.
By the way, did you see that meme of the dog of like when you ask Brock Purdy to be the quarterback of the future when all your 5 all-pro players are down? It's just like, I'm just like.
And that's the thing. Like, I like this is going to be a game that's going to have to show if Brock Purdy is that guy, and I don't think he is. This is why I kept saying, like, take out. Y'all want to isolate one drive. No, let's talk about the whole fucking game. He didn't play good against Cleveland. Like, y'all could try to sugarcoat the shit as much as you want. He didn't play good. Like, he just
Yeah, I get it. You could blame the kicker all you want too for missing 2 field goals, but why was the kicker put in that position?
that situation, like, it's like, bro, like, I don't listen. I'm not saying San Francisco's not good, but I'm just saying y'all are continuously making this kid like some MVP candidate. Last week it was Brock Purdy should be the MVP, and now this week it's like, okay, maybe we're a little bit like
A little bit. A little bit.
Like, no shit, really? You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, maybe we're.
Here's the thing. Shannon Sharp said this thing last week too. It's like, no, he's a quarterback in a great system. Shannon Sharp said this, and you know what people wanted to do to Shannon Sharp? They wanted to cancel him like he said a bad word on national television.
Like, Brock Purdy is good when everything goes right. I literally said this when the season started. I said he's Matt fucking Ryan. He's Matt Schaub. Like, if everything goes right, he's going to probably produce. As soon as things go left, he's probably going to shit the bed. Holy hell, who knew he could do that?
Yeah.
It's something that people don't want to admit. I said this also. Minnesota's defense is going to get better as the season progresses because if you don't pay attention to Brian Flores when he was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, that defense sucked for like 6 weeks. And then it turned. I don't know what happened, but it turned. So if they did that against Chicago, I'm just saying, this game could get goddamn tight. And if it get tight, I don't think Minnesota just loses this game like everybody thinks they do.
Yeah, it would be.
San Francisco wins because I don't think Minnesota has the weapons to actually compete.
No.
But I would not be surprised if Minnesota also wins this damn game, especially if Trent Williams is.
If Minnesota wins this game, we really have to start looking at the 49ers and being like, you sure you want to play the Eagles in the NFC Championship game? You sure about this?
The San Francisco 49ers are the third best football team in the NFC. They're behind the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles.
And that's not – and I hope people understand what Brandon is saying because Brandon has been saying this for a while. When you look at the Detroit Lions, name me a weakness on that Detroit Lions team right now. Go ahead.
Last week, people were screaming that Detroit's just Dallas with a better off. I'm like, Detroit will never be Dallas. Dallas is what Detroit is what Dallas wishes they were. They have nothing like Detroit. Detroit's offensive line is good, healthy, ready to go. I don't know what Dallas is, but you got a running game that actually you can depend on, and you have a defense. Like, I don't know why people want to make that a thing. Like Dallas and Detroit are the same. They're not even close.
You know what? I hope ESPN and I hope all the sports media networks get their wish. I hope Dallas beats Detroit in the playoffs, just so Detroit can just mop them. Just mop them, bro.
Sam Laporta will have 2 touchdowns by the fucking first half. Are we kidding ourselves right now? If they would have played, Detroit offense would absolutely confuse the shit out of Dallas.
Bad.
They would confuse them. They'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, come on. Like, let's not do that to them. Dallas would be confused as a son of a bitch. They don't know what to do with that. That offense is advanced, like super advanced. And Dallas is playing like a goddamn JV team. They have no idea. like literally today, we were like, is Dallas on the same level as Philly? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? Dallas defense.
I'm pretty sure Philly's looking at it too and going, like, guys, if we have to play Detroit, we're going to have to buckle down a lot.
And to be honest with you, Detroit's offense is more advanced than San Francisco's.
Like, and here's the thing: people are going to look at that and be like, "But San Francisco has Debo, San Francisco has George, they have Brandon Ayuk." Guys, it really doesn't matter who they have. Do you understand what the Detroit Lions offensively are doing right now?
I don't think people understand. I would take Amari St. Brown over Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk right now.
Here's the thing: I understand that Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery is not Christian McCaffrey, but goddamn, they sure look like it.
And something that we said in preseason about the 49ers, if anything happens to this offensive line, this team will fall immediately. What happened? Trenton Williams gets injured. Holy shit. That offensive line can't hold up. Now, can it?
And here's the thing: we've seen the Detroit Lions offensive line get hurt, and guess what? They still held up. I don't think people want to admit this, but the Detroit Lions are a really good football team, and I have to play them next week.
You play them next week. I'll play them I don't know. I think we played them on Thanksgiving. I don't know when we played them, but we played them in Detroit. I'm like, bro, really?
We got to play the Lions of Detroit on Monday Night Football? This is lame.
I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, I don't want to see this game. I already know how it's going to end.
What? Like, Juan, how you feeling about your Raiders taking on the Lions? What? What? Yeah, I'm not ready for that. Like, we could not afford a fucking turnover this game. We cannot turn it over to the fucking Lions. They'll kill us. They'll fucking kill us.
I'm so worried. We play them week something. I'm like, I am so freaking worried. I don't want to play them at all.
Yeah, we're good. But no, that's our weeks. That's our picks for this week. It's going to be fun. We are almost to the halfway mark of the NFL season. Some teams are trying to keep pushing along of holding on to their division leads. Some teams are trying to find out, are we good enough to make a playoff run? And then there's just some teams that, hey, start talking to Caleb Williams and see maybe you can try to convince him to come to your city because it looks like your season's over, bro. But as far as I know, anything can happen. But as always, Brandon, it is awesome to talk to you, my man. I will see you next week. We will do our Week 8 predictions and everything in between. Until then, everybody, please have a wonderful night. And please, 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 please be safe out there.